What's up, everybody? It's Wolves 2016 here. Just finished with my live reaction wearing the good old STL Blues right here. I'm actually probably going to put a couple command hooks up and start hanging up jerseys behind me so I have something behind me and something colorful other than this bland wall. You may be wondering why I'm not wearing the Blues jersey that I was wearing for that video. What had happened was um, this is Ryan O'Reilly's on the Buffalo Sabres. He's won the Conn Smythe, and he's easily one of my favorite players on the Blues, behind probably Robert Thomas. That being said, awesome game played by the Blues. Recap: 4-1 win by the St. Louis Blues to win in Game 7 in Boston. They won it on the road. And this was just a complete game by the Blues. I mean, they fought all night long. They, were winning puck battles left and right. I think it was very hard. It was going to be very hard to deny the Blues, and I knew that from the beginning. That denying the Blues here was going to be a very hard thing to do. I'm still watching some of this stuff. The Blues set the pace in the first period. They ended the first period up 2-0 thanks to a tip-in by O'Reilly and a backhander by Pietrangelo. I think after the first period, in my personal opinion, the game was over. I mean, it was 2-0, and had the Bruins scored on any of their shots, I think it could have easily been 2-2 or 3-2 Boston. But Binnington was a god. I mean, Binnington turned on beast mode in this final game, and he rebounded so well. So that being said, St. Louis, you earned it. I mean, it's hard to say anything else but that. They definitely earned the game. They earned the win, and they earned the Stanley Cup. And as a Blackhawks fan, it's kind of fun to finally have a little bit of heat in the rivalry and be like, hey guys, you finally won a cup. Now, now both St. Louis and Chicago have cups. Let's see where things go. So that being said, the Blues won. It was the shots on goal were 33-0. And like I said, I think the Blues were really the tone setters in this game. Early in the game, there was a penalty. Let's see if I can. Do you have the penalty? Yeah, there's only one penalty in the game. Colton Parayko delay of game for puck over the glass. I think the Blues killing that off was huge, especially with some of the saves Binnington made. I mean, some of the saves Binnington made were ridiculous. They were just ridiculous. I mean, it was going to be hard to beat Binnington. I already knew that. But Binnington just kept making it look almost easy. And so, I mean, looking forward at it, I think the Blues are going to be a dominant force. That was the only penalty called in the game. There's a lot of close calls. I could see a lot of calls being made if this wasn't Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. But I think it being Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, the refs were not as willing to blow the whistle, which is fine. I mean, I'm not mad. I get it. It's a little let the boys play, and then there are going to be people who are complaining about the aggressiveness or yada yada yada, whatever. I think this is a statement win for the Blues, and I think this helps establish Binnington as a very good goaltender, a very good starter. There are a lot of people I can see already calling Binnington elite. I don't think he's there yet. He definitely helped the Blues a lot, but to be elite, you have to earn that, and I think you have to do it throughout multiple seasons. One season isn't enough, in my opinion, to call a goaltender elite. So there's that. There really isn't a whole lot to talk about in this game. Boston outshot St. Louis in every period except for the third, where it was 10-10. I think where St. Louis really had the edge was block shots. St. Louis blocked 21 shots. And if they had a by period breakdown, I guarantee you like 15, 20 of them were in that third period. They were blocking everything. The Blues were doing this really interesting box scheme going into their defensive zone, where they essentially box out the player. And I mean, even in game 5 and 6, I mean, if the Blues would get a lead, they just line up every blue on the blue line, and then they're like, okay, the Boston Bruins keep trying to penetrate, just keep putting people there, making it harder for them to get into the zone. Like I said, 33 to 20 shots on goal. The Bruins actually had a better face-off percentage, which I found was interesting. St. Louis out hit Boston 36 to 28. I don't know. Oh, giveaways. Boston had 13 giveaways, which is another big thing in this game. The Blues had 8 takeaways as well. You cannot turn the puck over as much as the Bruins did and win a cup. Like I said in the live reaction of the Blues winning the cup. I mean, Tuukka Rask played an absolutely amazing game, and of all the goals that were scored, they had to be perfect shots, and they were. I really can't fault Tuukka Rask on any of these goals. He did an amazing job all postseason. I think the Bruins just, again, they packed their bags, and they only packed up enough bags. They only packed up enough offense for 2 road games, and then they left that offense in St. Louis. It is kind of entertaining to watch the Boston's fans, kind of crying a little bit about how, we lost or whatever. What I think helped the Blues is, the Blues don't, like, last year, the Capitals had an Ovechkin, and the Ovechkin was firing on all cylinders. The Blues don't have an Ovechkin. Tarasenko is the closest thing they have to an Ovechkin, and Tarasenko's not an Ovechkin, obviously. I'm not going to, judge them based on their, talents or whatever. But, I mean, you look at it, and it's hard to say that St. Louis didn't earn this, because they very clearly did. St. Louis earned every bit of this victory and this Stanley Cup, and obviously go Blues. Let's go Blues. I'm gonna be hearing a lot of it from my fans, from my Blues fans, my Blues friends that are my friends I have that are Blues fans. Why can't I talk? I'm sorry, I'm really tired. Like that being said, I just think St. Louis had a very dominant presence, and I think St. Louis proved something to me this game. If absolutely nothing else, I mean, you look at it, the Blues didn't really make any borderline hits. The Blues, a lot of the things that people were getting on the Blues for were being overly aggressive, or, oh no, they're bullying the Boston Bruins. And even though the Bruins had the Bruins back in the day were very aggressive, and they kind of gave way to the Broad Street bullies of the Philadelphia Flyers. So people who complain about it being too aggressive can kind of just shut up, in my opinion. I mean, it's a sport that has very aggressive tendencies. I mean, you're not going to have this you're not gonna have this whole I don't know. I really, I've found myself in the past kind of making excuses for when the Blues would win or do well in the playoffs, but as I keep getting a little bit older, I keep getting a little bit more mature, at least in my opinion, and I just look at it like, it's very hard to kind of do that now, just because I really want to see every team succeed. Even Boston. I mean, I would have been giving Boston high praises if they had found a way to win this one too. But I think all in all, I think the Blues won it. I think that second goal was going to be enough because the Blues just play so well defensively. And I think it's going to be a party in St. Louis. I probably won't be able to go through St. Louis actually anymore to get home because the streets are going to get closed because if they're going to trash them. There's going to be rioting, but it's going to be a good kind of rioting. I might even try to head home to St. Louis to try to see if I can catch the parade. It's not every day your hometown team wins the cup, and I'm obviously not from Chicago. But that being said, congrats on the Blues. Congrats to the Blues. Like I said, there's really just not much to talk about. The Blues just established such a dominant physical presence, and it made it very hard for Boston to respond. And Binnington was on from the drop of the puck. I mean, the Blues went 10 some odd minutes without a shot on goal, and then they made the most of their shots on goal. I mean, the shots on goal to the goals scored, I think it shows really the strategies of the two teams. St. Louis wasn't just shooting the puck whenever they were in the offensive zone. They were looking for good opportunities, and they got them, and they scored. Boston, I think, quickly realized that once Binnington made a couple great saves, they're like, we just have to keep pounding away, just keep putting shots on net, and we're gonna just hope and pray that he messes up or that he allows a goal. And he allowed a goal late in the game. Doesn't get the shutout. But 4-1 decisive victory for St. Louis. Not a whole lot of controversy going forward. That being said, like I said plenty of times, congrats to the Blues. Ryan O'Reilly, your boy, on he did amazing. I'm again really happy for the Blues. I think y'all did an amazing job. I think you earned it. Binnington is proven himself to be a very good goaltender. I think if he can keep up that talent, I think he could definitely challenge for the Vezina. I think it's going to be hard to not give him the Calder. Although that being said, Elias Pettersson had an amazing season, and Pettersson played all season. And again, it's kind of hard judging, goaltenders versus forwards and defensemen and whatnot when you come to judging the league MVP and all that. That being said, I did a video over some of the awards, and I will do a video probably either during or after the award ceremony to just kind of, relay to any of you, if none of you watched it, who won the awards and what happened and all that other stuff. So that being said, your 2019 Stanley Cup champions are the one and only St. Louis Blues. Long live the note. We all bleed blue. Let's go Blues. Any one of these, any number of sayings you want to go with it. Which I think is really cool because this jersey has technically won 2 straight Stanley Cups, because I'm going to make the jersey hug me a little bit. It's Oshie. So Oshie won the cup last year, and now the Blues won this year. So this jersey right here has technically won 2 straight championships, with Oshie on the back for the first one, and then the Blues on the front for the next one. I'm really excited for next season. I think it's going to be a great season to watch. It's going to be a fun off season to watch. There's a lot of free agents. I'll probably do a commentary on that as well. That being said, I think I've rambled on enough. I've talked myself in enough circles to, drill a hole straight through the center of the earth. So that being said, I'm going to get off of here. I'm actually going to probably head to bed because I have to get up for work really early tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to it. Wish I had, alcohol to celebrate, but again, it's a work night. I don't exactly have that luxury. Like I said, I think this came down to St. Louis had Binnington in net. Binnington played unbelievably, and he's been playing great all playoffs, and I think he really kind of came out in the finals and was really trying to do his best. I think a couple of those games that he was rattled. I mean, he got pulled for the first time in his career in Game 5 or Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and so it's like, yeah, That's a great goaltender. I'm really excited to see what happens. That being said, have a great night because it's night here. I will try to update y'all a little bit throughout the summer as to what's going on, where big free agents are landing, what the rumors are. Obviously, I will emphasize that they are rumors because I don't want to mislead anyone. But that being said, have a great night. Congrats to the Blues. Boston, you have nothing to be ashamed of. Y'all played an amazing series. Tuukka Rask is an elite goaltender, and I think he's still going to have a great year next year. I think the Bruins are running out of time to win a cup with Rask at the helm. And obviously, Boston fans are probably going to be really pissy at Tuukka, but that's whatever. That's a video for another day. Thank you so much for watching. If you did happen to stumble along this video, please like, subscribe, all that other stuff. Drop a comment if you want to say hi. That being said, just have a great summer. If I don't, post very often, have a great summer. I just hope even if I post throughout the summer, you still have a great summer. I might post a jersey opening tomorrow just because, like I said, I'm happy to be getting the jersey. It's a jersey I've really liked, and it's a jersey I've looked forward to getting for a while now. So that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great night. Let's go Blues, your 2019 Stanley Cup champion. Congrats and peace.